Hi guys, I'm back. My little puzzle piece wouldn't work. Hey. Thank you, Lily. I hate wearing glasses, but yeah, I'm okay. Yep, he's not fighting me for the camera today, so that's a good thing. We'll keep him back there. I don't know. My contacts, my eyes are bothering me today. Someone asked how long this document is. This document's 27 pages, but we're not going to read the whole 27 pages. Not tonight. There's only a couple of pieces that we're going to read from this. Because the rest of this one specific document, we have a few documents, but this one specifically is like the evidence, the witness list, and it has all that information on it. We're not going to go over that because that doesn't really matter. So, yeah. You're locked in. You didn't even know this existed? Yeah, a lot of people didn't. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys. I look sad. Honestly, I'm not sad. I'm actually in a really good mood today. But my eyes are really, my contacts, I don't know what it was. But my eyes are really bothering me. And so...
Girl, do you know that I just accidentally got myself in some doggone...
Where'd you end up?
Girl, let me tell you what just happened. Tell me why I was looking to add you as a host, girl, and I'm looking for you, and then all of a sudden I added, and this dude is like, please battle me. Please. And then every time I'm trying to hit the end, he hits the button so fast that I can't, kind of like forcing me to battle him. And I'm like, no, I'm not grifting on the internet. And he's like, still. And I'm telling you, as soon as I would hit decline, he'd hit it so fast to where if I tried to get him off the screen, it wouldn't even allow it to pop up. And I felt bamboozled.
So you were kidnapped on TikTok.
Yes, I felt so bamboozled.
That's wild.
Yeah, he was like, sister, can you give... He did say that he kept calling me sister, which was so funny. Like, the whole thing was just crazy. I felt trapped.
I was wondering where you were. I'm like, where'd she go?
I'm like, help me. Please help me.
That is so funny. It was Rusty's friend, they're saying?
Basically, for sure. Hold on 1 second, because I also remember Morbid sent me another FOIA, I believe. So let me see what that is.
Okay. You took a snack reload break and missed that. I know. Where's my husband? I need a snack too. My eyes are so like, they're so irritated. They're like burning right now. And I got tears running down my eyes. I'm surprised I don't look like that video Nanimated Jackie with the mascara running down her face, because that's what I feel like right now. Yeah, now you can all tap because, well, I'm at 4,000. Honestly, Kayla, it was a nicer day here. And so definitely it could be the allergies starting up. So, yeah, definitely could be, but I was not expecting it today. Look at my eyes. They're so swollen, and it's like, oof. They're like burning hot. It's almost like I want to ice them down, and whew.
You want to know something funny?
Yeah, I like funny.
These exact documents are the documents that Morbid sent me last week.
That's so funny.
And he sent it to me at night, and I dozed off and forgot that I had it. And didn't realize it was the same documents.
So you have a separate version than I have. I mean, obviously.
Through text, like the same thing.
So,
all
yeah.
three. Yes.
Yep. All right. Just making sure. This way we can pull them up and everyone has the same thing. Nobody's altering documents. So please be careful when you accuse people of altering
You have to be careful. You know what you're doing. You trying to fast talk people. You won't even really read the documents. Like you try to paraphrase, but you don't paraphrase what the doctor says, and then you put your own spin on it, like you have a PhD. Like it just don't make no sense.
Listen, I'm literally reading every word. Nothing's being added, nothing's being redacted, with the exception of sexual is sensual, because I'm not trying to get booted from here. But other than that, stuff like that, nothing's been taken away. I've been reading word for word. And I will show you all. Actually, I should just do this when I'm finished with the page. And you could see it if I hold it closer. But, so yeah. All right, let me get on with here, because we got a couple of more of these to go, and I can still see, so I will take some Claritin after here so I can knock out. Nicholas talking as Victor in this video and addresses it to Gypsy. He said as soon as Gypsy is his property, oh, did I read that already?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Your master, Victor's commands and sensual instructions. Nicholas is talking as Victor in this video and addresses it to Gypsy. He said Gypsy had to make a sensual video for Nicholas and gave her some instructions. He said he wanted her to respond to how she felt about Nicholas having backdoor sex and front door sex. He asked her to respond to how she felt about being restricted, bound, and him taking her virginity. He talked about how the...
Oh, damn. That sucks, because he didn't know that she was already out there. Damn.
He talked about how the vagina could stretch out to 9 inches.
No, you can't say that word. You just gotta say the cat.
You're not anatomically correct, though.
I don't think you can say that on here.
All right, so the vagina.
Just say meow.
The kitty. Guys, I'm a nurse, man. I use everything by the book, and to sit there, I got a kitty and stick and all of the words. I'm just like, I am just not the person for this, because then if I start saying kitty and all that stuff, I'm going to go into a rant of roasting. So I'm trying to be. He talked about how the kitty could... Oh, if my mother could see me now. My daughter's online talking about kitty and stick. He talked about how I'm not going to read that sentence again. How it could stretch out to 9 inches. 9 inches. This is 9 inches.
Well, let's consider something really quick.
That is 9 inches.
Homegirl was using... She was doing everything with a toothbrush, brushing her teeth. Remember that?
It would go in this way, dude. Like, not Arizona tea can that way, but like this way. Like, that beats Nana, man. I'm just saying. We got a winner. Sorry. All right. And he wanted to make sure she was okay with it. If he was able to make his stick 9 inches in length, he wanted Gypsy to grape him and told her he is turned on by it. Nicholas wanted Gypsy to tell him how she felt about him graping her. The following are videos this investigator thought were of significance from Gypsy to Nicholas, which were located on Nicholas's computer. The following are the files and videos I reviewed, and it is not intended as an exact text of the files and videos. Gypsy is outside on her deck in her wheelchair and is recording the backyard with her cell phone. She was pointing to several areas close to her house and said these areas were good spots. She did not elaborate on what she meant by good spots. We all saw that video. That was the one MPG showed. Remember when she was in the wheelchair?
Yes, that's crazy.
It's that one. So
that's crazy.
So that was the video they were referencing.
That's when she was trying to take the 9-incher, the alleged 9-incher.
He said wide. That's this way.
I didn't catch that. Oh my
God. That's why I'm like, he's saying wide, man. Like that's that way, not that way. That's length, width. So that's why I was like, it's bigger than my head. Like, I don't even know what to say. But all right. Gypsy, the next one is video 280. Gypsy is showing Nicholas several baby items.
Not while I'm eating nuts.
Yes. Gypsy is showing Nicholas several baby items she has collected and put in plastic containers. She said Demona got all the baby items and she, Gypsy, did not have to get them. She even thanked Demona for getting the baby items. She said now all she needs is a baby. That was Gypsy that said now all she needs is a baby. So now she has been collecting baby items for a baby, since around this time, 2013, 2015 area, no exact time noted, but she literally had it stored in plastic containers.
And no, that she didn't get good out the jail.
That Demona was helping her get, because Demona wanted her to have a baby, right? She wanted a baby. Tell me how she had plastic containers in her house of baby items that Dee Dee didn't know and wasn't concerned about all this stuff going on. Think about it. At this point in time, Dee Dee's still alive when these videos are being made and whatnot, right? You mean to tell me Dee Dee didn't know any of this was going on? There wasn't baby clothes. Like, why do you have baby clothes everywhere? You're stealing baby clothes. Like, that is just my opinion. That is just my just saying. That is my just saying. So, Gypsy is showing the baby. All right, 282. Gypsy is showing some black and pink lacy underwear she said she would be wearing for Nicholas when they meet again in June. Now, again, I don't know when these were taken, but apparently June has already been planned. Gypsy is apologizing to Nicholas because of how she acted the day before. She said she would try to be a better person in the future and she would never leave him. But now remember, in the videos that I read about yesterday, in the other court documents, you heard that they had broken up, remember? And then that's why he wanted to unalive himself. Like, remember, all of this is all going on in the same situation, in the same time area.
Oh, right, because she had said if he didn't do what she wanted, she would not be in contact with him for a week. And that was around the time he thought she broke up with him. So that's to show you the power struggle, where it's like it came across like Nicholas was one with the power, but she was the one punishing him. That was like topping from the bottom.
Yeah.
So that's like the manipulation and the misuse of trust. And like I said, I think it's in page 102, Dr. Wasserman, it was explaining how like it's all about repetition, and like it's learned for them. Like they have to, it's structured, right? And that kind of makes sense when it comes in terms to this. So it's kind of like, it's interesting when you hear what the doctor has to say.
Yeah. Being owned by Master. This one has a title, number 264.
She wants a baby so bad, so she can offer that baby up.
Gypsy said she was making this video with the command of Master Victor. She talked about Victor being the ruler of everything and how he was in charge of everything and every part of her. She said he took care of her, and if he asked her to do something, she would do it. She said Victor's words overruled Nicholas's words, and she had to obey him. She then changed her wig and her outfit and called herself Demona and told Nicholas She was commanded to do this video by Victor. She then gets undressed and told Nicholas that Victor owned all of her, including her body. Demona Part 1. Gypsy introduces herself as Demona and said she would do anything Nicholas said for her to do. Anything Nicholas said for her to do. Demona Part 2. This is a continuation from video titled Demona Part 1. She continued to talk about how she pledged her life and love to him. Demona Part 3. Gypsy is portraying to be Demona and talked about how she, Demona, was the reason for the breakup between she and Nicholas. She talked about how she was going to unalive herself because she caused them to break up. So now Nicholas and Gypsy broke up because of Demona. Demona to Sir Black One, number 264. Gypsy introduces herself as Demona and she told Nicholas she was making this video because he commanded her to do so. She talked about how she was a slut and she could hurt someone, but she could not physically harm her mother or Nicholas. She said if Sir Black One wanted to
Hold on one second. People are asking who's Demona. Demona is the character that she played. Remember the one with the red and the black wig on? That's Demona. Demona is the one character that Gypsy could always describe. Okay, so Demona is from Demona and Gargoyle. What you don't know is even though that is a Disney character,
the root of that character
was very evil. She was all about unaliving people. Gargoyle stands for neck in French. I think that is worth noting. Demona also is all about branding. Okay, so and manipulation and like literally unaliving people. Mm-hmm. So that's her character.
I actually just found, remember I told you I couldn't find it, but I had printed out that description of Demona. I found it, so I can go into that afterwards. Oh, I can't hear you. All right. So where are we?
Oh, good night, Sophia.
Gypsy introduces herself as Demona, and she told Nicholas she was making this video because he commanded her to do so. She talked about how she was a slut and she could hurt someone, but she could not physically harm her mother or Nicholas. She said if Sir Black One wanted to beat her for not wanting to hurt them, then he could beat her physically. She said she was very good at stealing and this was her specialty. She went on to explain how and why she was good at stealing. She talked about how she could make money, and she promised Nicholas she would do this for him, even if it meant her sleeping with strangers for money. She said she would grape Nicholas by tying him up, and they would be great partners in crime. Now remember, I read that yesterday in the other court documents. It went into more detail there.
Just as reference where she was saying she would beat men over the head.
Yeah, had to move said that she would sleep with them for money.
This is in correlation with that.
Demona's anniversary video. Gypsy introduces herself as Demona. She talked about being in love with him and how she wanted them to live together far away from other people. She talked about having children with Nicholas. She said they would have to teach and educate their children what not to say in public to keep him being a vampire a secret. If they had a girl, then their daughter had to lose her virginity to Nicholas because he would be the master of the household. She said when she turned 13, she would explain this to their daughter and why she had to give her virginity to Nicholas. She talked about how she was Nicholas's slave and he could have her anytime he wanted. Demona's sorry to her master, number 264. Gypsy introduces herself as Demona. She talked about how she had done something bad and she had disappointed Nicholas. She said she was very sorry for disappointing him because of a profile she had made on the computer. She told him she was afraid of disappointing him, and she knew this was wrong. Throughout the video, she begged for forgiveness. She talked about how sorry she was and how she was a submissive slave to him. Now, remember when I spoke about Dan yesterday, and Dan said she was constantly making new accounts and messaging him? That's what I think she was caught doing. I think that she was caught messaging because it's, you know what I mean? Because it's the same scenario where she was mad, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that, again, would make sense as to why Nick said he would say sorry to everyone but Dan.
Absolutely.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. Thank you.
All right, Gypsy's Big Test Part 2. There was no Part 1. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any. Sorry to master. Video would not play. Video would not play. Not play. Gypsy's Big Test Part 2, number 264. In this video, Gypsy is recording herself to Nicholas as he had commanded. She had a list of commands from Nicholas to sit and stand in front of positions, in different positions, as well as take some of her clothes off. He commanded her to bow, kiss the floor, and to remove the rest of her clothes. She is fully nude at this time. She is instructed to do a full 360 turn so the camera could catch every side of her body. She is commanded to get on her hands and knees. Throughout the rest of the video, she is commanded to pose for the camera in other explicit positions and to play with her parts. Gypsy's farewell video to Victor. Gypsy is talking as herself and is telling her master goodbye. She often wondered if she had pleased him or not. She talked about how she learned a lot from him and she was sad because it was like saying goodbye to a family member. She appeared to be sad and was crying in this video over saying goodbye to her master. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Victor's gone. Her master is gone. In this video, Gypsy is in a bathtub and said she was doing this video because she was commanded to do so. She rubbed several items of food all over her body and said she felt ashamed and humiliated. She begged her master to let her pass this test. In this video, Gypsy is in the bathtub and said she was doing this video to become Nicholas's slave. She rubbed several items of food all over her body and said she felt shamed and humiliated. She begged her master to let her pass this test. She said she was completely humiliated and hoped it was all worthwhile. She was visibly upset and crying. Gypsy's sorry message about Jackie. Gypsy told Nicholas she made a mistake and did not mean to go against his wishes. She received a message from Jackie's husband. She said she sent him a message 6 months prior, and then he responded back. She begged for Nicholas's forgiveness and apologized throughout the video. She was visibly upset and crying on the video. She begged Nicholas not to leave her and talked about how she was not perfect. She said she would obey him from now on, and she would not do or be anything he wanted. And she would do or be anything he wanted. Gypsy's video to my evil side. Gypsy introduces herself as Gypsy. She said she was making this video to Nicholas's evil side. She thanked him for what he was doing for her and both of them. She said she was sorry for not getting all the ingredients that are necessary. She did not get a taser because she thought they were going to do one plan, and then she changed the plan. She said she did not get a taser because she thought they were going to do one plan, And then she changed the plan. She asked Nicholas please to not hurt her. She said she did end up getting the jabber, tape, and handcuffs. She was not specific about what she was talking about. She said she would accept the punishment, whatever it was. I am so nicely, deeply sorry for letting you down, Master is the title. In this video, Gypsy is talking to Master Victor, Nicholas. She made a bad mistake because she was not observant. She said she was sorry for not ending a conversation on the computer in the correct way by putting an emoji symbol at the end, and this was why Nicholas was upset. She was punished by not hearing or talking to Nicholas. She talked about how much her life is disrupted when she cannot talk to Nicholas. She understood why he was punishing her, but she begged him to forgive her and let her talk to Nicholas. She was visibly upset and crying. In this video, Gypsy was apologizing to Nicholas for being a bad girlfriend and complaining. She was visibly upset and asked him to forgive her. I'm so sorry, my king. In this video, Gypsy again apologized to Nicholas for her not thinking clearly, being confused, and being stupid. She talked about a person who had feelings towards her, but she did not have feelings for him. She told Nicholas it was just a friendship feeling and nothing more. She talked about how she did not want to lose him. She had to explain herself to Nicholas and was visibly upset. So again, I feel like she obviously got caught talking to somebody else. Okay? And we know who that somebody else is. Or at least I believe I know who that somebody else is. I'm sorry, baby, part 1. Gypsy apologized to Nicholas for getting angry with him. She said Victor can be overwhelming at times and she loved him. This video was short. My response video. Gypsy said she was sorry to Nicholas because she was being a brat about showing her body to him. She was upset with Nicholas because he wanted to look at her whole body and then he would judge her body after he observed her naked. She said she did not want to do this because she was afraid he was going to post the pictures. She apologizes to Nicholas for not communicating properly. She said she would not backtalk toward him and he did have the right to spank her. She talked about Nicholas's dominant side and how she could adapt his She talked about Nicholas's dominant side and how she could adapt to his dominant side and she would be good from now on. She said she was allowed to give her 15 spankings for her being disrespectful towards him. She was not crying in this video, but she was upset. Plea video. In this video, Gypsy was crying and telling Nicholas she was sorry for making so many mistakes. She was pleading for Victor to not take Nicholas away from her. She promised to do better. Gypsy then said she is now Demona and begged Victor not to let any of Gypsy's personalities lose Nicholas. All her plans in life included Nicholas and she could not bear losing him. Ruby's introduction video to her perfect match. Oh, this is just saying that the report is in one of their binders. And that's it. That's all the video descriptions they have. So that right there was just a description of these videos that were found at Nicholas's house on a USB drive, or taken from a USB drive. What's that?
I will get soup tonight, I think.
No. Well, something to drink. Yeah.
What was in the...
So yeah, that was it. That was that part of it. So again, no one's sitting here claiming Nicholas to be innocent. You know what I mean? But it's really important to see the relationship and how it goes back and forth. How they communicate. Because once you watch how they communicate, and you're not just taking little snippets from here and snippets from there, you get a whole lot more of what's going on in the situation. So, nobody's comments are being filtered. Well, if it's filtering, Crystal, it's not because of me. It is all public information. So, yeah. The problem is a lot of people haven't seen it. And there, believe it or not, there were a lot of videos that could not play. So there was a lot more videos in between there. They did say that there were hundreds of videos. Or over 100, I believe. But yeah, there was a lot more videos. Those are just the ones that they reported on. That's what I'm saying, Shell Bell. How is this girl whose mother, who wasn't allowed to be on the computer, who was sneaking cell phones, right? Nobody knew nothing. I mean, you had time to sit and play in a tub with some food and get down and talk about your master. I mean, did you ever sleep then? She absolutely walked around. She absolutely knew she wasn't sick. Dee Dee absolutely knew that she knew. Okay, everything was going on. You mean to tell me Dee Dee knew that she was going through this whole thing with men, in my opinion. I really do believe that Dee Dee knew that Gypsy was just, her behavior sexually was dangerous. I'm going to say that, dangerous towards herself. And so, yeah, I really do believe. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. That's so pretty. Thank you. Thank you. That was a whale. It was pretty. So, yeah. I just, I don't know what part you want me to go through now. Dangerously promiscuous. Thank you, Tina Lou. Yes.
I think the main thing would be really just going over kind of like what the doctor had to say, just to shed a little bit of light on that. But wait, you also said you have the Demona.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
I should have printed it out too. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I just printed it out that day just because I'm a person. I like to read my stuff and have it in front of me. Demona is a cunning and resourceful opponent, dangerous warrior, and a skilled sorceress. However, her anger and hatred have a tendency to interfere with her plans. This has fortunately resulted in Demona's efforts to destroy humanity all failing. So they were just telling about how she battles and how dangerous she is, and
So
ultimately she wants to destroy humanity.
Bam Bam asks, did Gypsy give Nick an role playing character?
I don't know. I don't know if Nick adopted that character himself or if she gave it to him. I'm not sure. But I do know, however, that that kind of character is weaker than a demon, like a demoness character. Because that's a whole wild rabbit hole, man. It's wild. Physiology, Demona holds an inherent physical abilities of a gargoyle, super strength, durability, gliding, prolonged youth, but that pales in comparison to her true strength. Sorcery, Demona was secretly tutored by, I don't even know who that is, becoming a capable and dangerous sorceress, which enables her to utilize almost any magical artifact that she can get her claws on. Now remember, magic and spells and hexes and all that stuff played a part in what she was doing with Victor. Remember, she was...
Oh, we're supporting a man that could take... No, he didn't offer to take it. Gypsy said she wanted to give it up. There was never... Like, you see how you flip that, Bree? Here's the thing with y'all. When Bree tends to have a lot of people in her chat, they play on words. And when you're dealing with a lot of unintelligent people, you can play on words because they don't really comprehend. You know, people that are dreamy tend to kind of, you can manipulate and tell them whatever. That's why she only has a certain type of people. Like if you notice, the type of people that are in their circle are people that don't think for themselves. Well, even Bree, she's manipulated by Crystal or whatever that girl's name, and Crystal's has orders from Christy, and it's a type, right? They can't think for themselves. The whole thing. They're very hard up. That's why they keep coming in my comment section. Like, I don't get it. But it's crazy that you would support a woman that unalived her mom and also is predatory towards children. You know what I'm saying? She's a liar. She's a manipulator. She's a thief. Right? She steals on wheels. Remember when she stole like everything on wheels? Like, do you remember these things? Like, I think everything's very one-sided for some of you. But this girl ultimately masterminded her mom's unaliving. If Gypsy Rose Blanchard was not alive, would Dee Dee be here today? That's a yes or no. Yes or no. Not a but, not a how, not a maybe a this. If Gypsy Rose Blanchard was not in the picture ever, would Dee Dee Blanchard be alive today? That tells you who's the real villain. And period. That's how do you mastermind your mom's unaliving after admitting that you've been lying about being paralyzed and saying that your mom had Munchausen by proxy when you lied to her? Doesn't that sound a little crazy? I'm just saying. Hey, Erica! Like, you really have to think about that. That sounds really crazy. Erica, did you see what I posted? I'm sorry, y'all. My lips feel really dry, so I don't know why I'm obsessing over this chapstick. I think it's because my lips were peeling. Okay, so I posted a screenshot from a FOIA where Gypsy did a video that the police saw admitting from the age of 6, she had a surgery. She had a seizure during that surgery, and she became paralyzed, and they didn't know if it was temporary or long term. And when she got feeling back, tingling and feeling back in her legs, she never told her mom. She said this. Gypsy Rose Blanchard said this. And I'll just show you.
What are we doing? Oh,
Okay.
is that the one from yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
What page is that? I think I have it here somewhere.
Let's page 65 and 66.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy.
Someone's asking what are it's a FOIA, you'd have to request it.
Yeah, you would have to request it. Yeah. Did you want to read that again or no?
I just gave them the gist of it, so I don't really feel like.
Never mind.
And then it's up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say this. I do think Dee Dee didn't have her around a lot of people.
She was a danger to herself. Gypsy was a danger to herself when it came to men and stuff like that, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, and that's obvious, though. I mean, you have to, you know, the whole thing, it all makes sense, and you have to be able to see that. You can't say that she wasn't a danger. Danger to herself, at least. Well, obviously she was a danger to others because, well, she's a murderer, but yeah. Dee Dee knew there was something wrong with Gypsy. Dee Dee knew about her behaviors and how she behaved and all of it. Dee Dee knew that, in my opinion. She absolutely knew that. And again, everything that we think that she knew about Gypsy, Gypsy acts the same way today. I mean, like, she thought nothing of hopping from one man to the next and getting pregnant a month later. Like, let's be real. She thought nothing.
Let me tell you something. Anybody that could violate a toothbrush the way she violated a toothbrush and violated the meow the way she did with an electric toothbrush says enough to me. How do you do everything with a toothbrush but brush your teeth?
I can't even ever. But that's apparently the only thing she didn't do with the toothbrush. I'm just saying. You saw her face. That's the only thing she didn't do with a toothbrush. Thank you, honey. I heard them so cute. Okay. Say she did absolutely what you think she did with an electric toothbrush.
I bet you that thing was raw to death.
I want to know what kind of batteries, because that she could sponsor a battery company.
And like, for 12 minutes consecutively?
Well,
that's a good battery on that toothbrush, okay?
All right, somebody mark a clock now. It is 11:17 for me. Somebody let me know when 12 minutes is up, please. I want to show you how long 12 minutes is up. I mean, that little bean just came off. I'm just saying. The thing just fell off. But yes, 12 minutes from now, it is 11:17. This is wild. That's a long damn time to be scrubbing a bean with a brush. I'm just saying. And
all right, I put a timer for it.
There we go. Think about that though. Like I
wonder if she still uses toothbrushes, or since she can afford.
She sold some. There ain't no toothbrushes now. She could just use it for that end. She doesn't have to worry about using it for that end and then trying to put it in her mouth and cross contamination of, you know what I mean? Like, did she not realize those lips didn't have teeth? Like, did she not realize there were no teeth in those lips? Like, I'm just saying. She brushed her flaps. Now she just soaks them, yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Awkward, long 12 minutes.
I feel like, because we only at 11 minutes, so think that, we have 11 more minutes, so think that whole minute that we just been talking, she just... Okay.
I want to know the battery that she uses, though. I mean, what battery? You're sitting there. How many videos?
That would be a great commercial, really, to be honest.
That's what you can be a sponsor for. Like, go do batteries, man. I bet you I can make my toothbrush last 3 weeks without shutting off. Like, for real. That's a long freaking time, Magda. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, she's a wild
It
girl.
wasn't rechargeable. It was batteries because there's no way she plugged that thing up long enough for it to get some more juice to go for another 12. Oh, there's no way. Think about it. You brush your teeth for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It expects 2 to 3 minutes of you brushing your teeth. It's not built to get you off and climax in 12 minutes. Like, it just wasn't built for that, man. I'm just saying.
That's just wild. Like, at what point would you ever think to yourself, yeah, I could actually use this toothbrush for other things?
Never in a freaking million years. Ever, ever, ever. Like, that's
Like, I
just...
want to know what gets your thought process there. You don't
like you just look around and you're like, oh, you know what? Like, that's interesting. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe I'll put, that looks about the right size. You know what I mean? Like, you just walk around going, oh, that looks like it'll fit. Like, oh, my toothbrush. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Lips. Yeah, just slide right in there. Like, you were literally what? Scrubbing your what? Does she have a bean left? Is what I want to know. Because she's probably out there telling people it was removed at a medical abuse.
Okay, and we want to talk about. I want to talk about something really quick. I think I mentioned this briefly last night, but I really want to talk about this more in depth. Right? I'm gonna actually pull up the message if I can find it.
You weren't thinking electric? Yeah, you got to remember there's got to be some girth to it.
Okay. Does it say that she wasn't pregnant here?
It specifically said electric too.
Oh yeah. It said. Now remember, this was March 13th last year. He said that she was not pregnant. I just want to keep in mind that that baby definitely looks over.
Wow, it really was March 13th. And again, let me tell you something that I've noticed with these people, though.
They come hard when yes. So I'm really,
and they don't want it out there. They will come hard as hell. They will come hard as hell for the truth. I'm just saying. What does that say? If you could just keep, I would greatly appreciate that if you talk about the knowledge that I am about to share with you in a video. Please say so, or if you want to say it's by me, that's okay, but just don't share the actual message. So I wanted to clarify some things before rumors get out of hand. I should probably start with the most recent. No, I am not pregnant, and no, Ryan and I are not getting a divorce. A few weeks ago, Ryan and I had went to the hospital because Ryan was having breathing issues and coughing a lot and was sick. So we went to urgent care where they sent him to get a chest x-ray because they suspected pneumonia. Oh, guess what? She wasn't with Ryan anymore. She was cheating on Ryan with Ken, and she was probably pregnant in March. Oh, she was absolutely pregnant in March. When did she say she got pregnant?
She said she got pregnant in April. But remember, they announced, she said the end of April during whatever Jazz Fest. But remember, May 2nd is when they announced Ken was moving. He said he was moving because she was pregnant. So Jazz Fest was at the end of April. How could you know within 3 days?
I didn't even know she was pregnant yet. Because she was already pregnant there.
He did know, but how? I'm telling you, this might be some truth to it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He had to have known. Because she was already pregnant.
May 2nd. And she made sure to clear up that she was not pregnant here. Like, for what? Girl, I don't know you from a can of paint.
Yeah.
So I think that this, like, looking at this now and looking how old that baby look, I actually think it was February.
I absolutely believe that they were together before she left for that weekend with her family that she never returned on. I absolutely believe I believe, and again, not stating this as fact, just in case people want to twist my words, I believe she was absolutely pregnant then. I believe that the baby was not born early. I personally believe the baby was born in November, the end of November, and not the end of December.
Possibly the end of October, because that is a big baby for that gestation.
And I have had some big babies. Let me tell you something. My first was almost 10 pounds, okay? And if I showed you a picture of her at 3 months, you'd be like, there's no way.
I just want you to know that toothbrush is still going. Just a little reminder.
That poor bean. That's who we need to get justice for, damn it!
Is
justice for the bean.
Yes, that toothbrush.
I mean, she's got to be raw and bleeding at this point. I'm just saying. Like, it wasn't I hope she wasn't using the bristle end.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
So you just put the whole battery pack, like...
Well, because wouldn't the battery stuff get messed up?
With gooey wetness? I would think so. When the juices leak into it, batteries would rust. Like, ugh.
You have 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Like, but then you're gonna sit there and brush your teeth with the other end of your juices. Like, what are you doing? Brushing my teeth with what? Juices? Oh, come on.
Yeah, I could never look at electric toothbrush the same. I just can't.
And then it was not just the front, though. Did you read it? It was the back, too. I mean...
There's still 3 more minutes left on that thing.
Like, I can't even. Oh, no. No, I'm just saying. She loves the challenge.
Definitely justice for that toothbrush, because that toothbrush was disrespected in a way that I wouldn't want any toothbrush to be disrespected.
But I mean, here you are sitting there, you can't explain why the dentist ripped all your teeth out, but yet you use the toothbrush for everything but brushing your teeth. You want to take a guess, Gypsy? I think I know why you got your teeth ripped out. Because you were too busy putting it in the wrong mouth. You were shoving it between the lips with no teeth. I'm just saying. And somehow, I'm going to be the horrible person for this. Not the person who shoved an electric toothbrush up their hoo-ha. I'm going to be the bad person for this. Just say, like, come on. We know it. Like, oh my God, she was sitting there talking about...
Like said, Ivory, did you
put a toothbrush up her hoo-ha?
Okay watching her on an electric chair? You said, yeah, I said that.
Listen, I am never going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Why? Because I'm never going to give anybody the chance to catch me in a lie. They sure did say that to me. You mean to tell me, did you say that, Ivory Rosenose? Did you say that you wanted her strapped in a chair until her legs stopped moving? I sure did. You were waiting for me to get scared and come out with a lie, but listen, you're only going to get, I'm going to say it. I will say it and stand 10 toes down on everything I say. Absolutely. If I thought it was horrible and I didn't believe it, I would have said it. Yes, I absolutely believe she should have been strapped to a chair. You all know how I feel about premeditated murder. I've also said it about Nick, though, so in all fairness, it wasn't just Gypsy, it's Nick, too. You all know how I feel. I've stated how I felt about premeditated murder. The justice system, everybody wants to sit there and go out throwing gray, then we'll go gray. But I personally believe it's black and white. You premeditate murder, you sit in jail for life or get strapped to a chair. There should be no,
toothbrush is coming to an end.
Justifies it, but this doesn't. Gypsy's abuse justifies the murder, but not Nick's. Like, make it make sense, man. make it make sense.
So that toothbrush is going for another 26 seconds.
You know, we moved on to 3 topics, read 2, like, come on. Read a whole email, discussed the email, read a paper, like, and she's still flicking that toothbrush.
But that kind of makes sense as to why she was trying to sell it. And she said she'd hit people over the head with bottles. She was acting like she was a hood rat from the Bronx.
Can you imagine being the cop that had to watch that video while she rode the toothbrush for 12 minutes?
Child. Okay, so the alarm just went off.
That was a wild ride. Like, there's no way that, I mean, didn't she get pap smears, man? Like, nobody checked the rawness of that?
Well, if she didn't brush her teeth, I don't think she, I mean, never mind.
Never mind.
But what we do know is there's something out there with good batteries. And, you know, whoever is the toothbrush brand that she was, maybe she might want to do be an influencer for a brush that lasts 12 minutes consecutively.
That's what I'm saying. Like, guaranteed, this toothbrush guaranteed to last you a 12-minute orgasm or your money back.
Look at my foyer if you want to know the proof.
I can't. I'll take that.
But you know, now all electric toothbrushes are going to come with signage. This is not to be used anywhere other than your mouth on your thing.
Next month, electric toothbrushes will have a warning fucking label. Please don't insert into vagina. Can cause harm. So there's that. It's not, so this is not, so a FOIA is just the Freedom of Information Act. It's what gives you the right to go and request to wherever you need to go request it, public record. That is the difference. These people are keeping a FOIA. I think it's just easier for me to say it was FOIA'd, but literally it was just requested from the place because we have the right to gain access to public records. That's
also, notice that people that really don't understand what custody means and that there are 2 different types of custody, legal custody and physical custody. Yep. Just because you have legal custody does not mean you have physical custody to that child. Legal custody means anything as far as legalities, as far as doctor's appointments, as far as major decision making, as far as anything like that, you have on paper legal rights.
Yes.
Anytime someone has to supervise you while you have your kid, that's called supervised visitation.
Ivory, my next video is a toothbrush commercial because
and physical custody is separate. You can have, they are not one and the same.
No, they're not. You can have physical physical or residential custody. You can have legal custody.
And normally there's joint legal custody, and then someone has physical custody.
Yeah. Or they both have joint legal and joint physical, or whatever, however the case goes. But yeah, when custody is broken down into 2,
brought to you by Colgate. Arizona's like, these people, I don't know how this Gypsy Rose be making me between Arizona and Colgate, just the weirdest thing in the world.
It doesn't say when the toothbrush incident happened. It did, however, happen more than once. And did it say that it happened with Dan?
I don't remember.
I feel like it did, but I'm not sure. But it happened on more than one occasion. That I do know for a fact. Because it's stated it multiple times. Can you imagine being a police officer who had to watch that and write that? Like, chick rode toothbrush for 12 minutes. Like, he had to sit there and count how long she rode the toothbrush. Like, could you imagine, like, going home at the end of the day, I'd be like, dude, I need a new job because I just sat there and watched some chick ride a toothbrush for 12 minutes.
Man, can you imagine explaining that to your wife?
No. It's like,
You
honey,
know, I never even
no, please don't. Like, yeah, no.
You're like, I'll pass on brushing my teeth tonight.
Right? It's like next time someone's like, hey, you got a toothbrush, or here's your toothbrush, I'm going to be like, oh. Like, is that an invitation?
Yeah, that is definitely.
I can't imagine being that officer or whomever that was that had to, first of all, somebody had to take that stuff off the computers, and then somebody had to sit down and watch it and narrate it or whatever, you know what I mean? That's wild. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, definitely someone had to. Oh, my drink got on my shirt. I'm like, what happened? I forgot.
And and I'm sure there were two because, well, ugh. So yeah, there's that.
No, it's a lot. But I think that this is really, really interesting. What I do think also at some point, I think we need to start playing like clips of her interrogation.
Yeah. You know what I wanted to bring up as well? And then there's a lot more to this. I'm going to go through that again tomorrow. But do you know what I wanted to bring up as well? Her recent videos, the one about the microdeletion?
Yes.
Because literally, that make sense. Somebody make that make sense to me.
There's a lot of contradictions even in that, a lot, even in comparison to her 60-minute interview.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's just, I don't know, that's just wild to me. But yeah, I did a video on it today, so if you guys didn't see the video, go watch it really quick. But ultimately what it's saying is that, now, again, why do we think that everything that comes out of Gypsy Rose's mouth is a lie? Well, because it wasn't not too long ago that she was telling us that she didn't have a microdeletion, right? She would not admit to having the microdeletion. We didn't know what we were talking about. It's all lies. They came hard. Then it ended up the lies was actually the truth. So
even she lied that her mom didn't have tested for it and her dad was negative, when in her medical records it's clear that her mom was tested for it, her mom was negative, and her dad would never answer the phone for the doctor's office to have him tested.
Yep. So she's saying that it was 2012 she was diagnosed with it. And that Dee Dee used the microdeletion that she had, that she's now admitting to, that Dee Dee used that microdeletion as a blueprint for all of the fake symptoms that Dee Dee told the doctors and all of the fake surgeries that Dee Dee told the doctors to perform, and that she knew that's what it was because she would go look it up, and she knew that it was this microdeletion, the one, hold on, sorry. But yeah, she knew that it was a microdeletion, and there's no way that that's possible. There's no way that Dee Dee, that the reason that Gypsy had all of those surgeries, they all coincided with the microdeletion was because, well, Dee Dee used that microdeletion as a blueprint. So
when it wasn't even discovered until...
When it wasn't even on journals, medical journals, until 2008. And she was diagnosed in 2012. 2012 was 3 years before Dee Dee was unalive. So she was being treated for all of these things way before, decades before that. So How can Dee Dee abused her off the basis of knowing that she had that microdeletion? Make it make sense.
Someone said that her grandma did have it too. I haven't seen solid proof of that. And that was the great grandma on, I believe, Rod's side. But from what I understand, based off of what their family members have said to me, Rod Sr. had a daddy uncle. That's all I could say. Allegedly. Okay.
Allegedly. You're just lying. Oh, you know what? Who knows whose baby anybody is? I hope,
I mean, listen, that's what they
Are we shocked by these people? Obviously, I mean, all those genes intertwined with Dixie. You got the genes from that side, the genes from that side, and look what it fucking created, dude.
A menace to society.
By any of these people?
It created a menace to society.
Wild.
A complete menace to society.
Like, that's why Rod is so...
I'm not on the phone. This is my phone.
That's why Rod is so, I'm not going to tell her she has to apologize. I don't think she did anything wrong.
Whoever said that, blocked them, because I'm tired of people feeling like they can get in here and tell me what I need to do and then accuse me of something that I'm not even doing.
That's so funny. I don't even pay attention. I barely pay attention to mine.
Like, people are weird. Somehow I need to get off the phone. This is my phone.
Yes, I will in a little bit, Tina. I will. Before we go, I will play it. It's funny.
What are you going to play?
A video is this Jessica? Jessica did with the toothbrush? Hold on, I'll show you now then, since...
Hey, Fred.
Let me just move my stuff out of the way for y'all.
No, when Britt was on my lives before, back when Bree, remember the whole granny corn thing? You remember when I told you about that? The granny corn?
The granny corn?
With Bree and Bree's search engine?
No.
Bree was searching a younger woman and an older woman corn. That's why I said I think her and Christy might have been doing something. But
nothing surprises me.
Rick used to get into my lives and spam it with corn. Thank you, Rick. Oh my goodness. It used to crack me up. Oh wait. Normal people in the bathroom. Play it.
I'm trying. Oh, hold on, you can't hear it.
Oh, that's funny.
That is funny.
It's funny. Man, when you heard that song come on, you already knew what was up. Like, that was like such the perfect song for that.
Yeah, it really was.
That's so funny because it's like there's no words needed.
You don't even have to know the story.
No words needed for that. No.
Just know. Yep.
No explanation. You just understood the assignment.
You sure did. The poor that's what I'm saying. The poor toothbrush, man.
The toothbrush was stressed out. It said it had to do like overtime and it didn't understand why.
I mean, did the thing smoke? Like, I want to know. I have questions, okay? I have some serious questions. Was there smoke? Like was this thing? And there's smoke. The friction, man. Friction starts fires.
Could you? I mean, did she like rub that thing down with alcohol after? Like, what was the process?
She shoved a toothbrush up her hoo-ha. Do you think she actually worried about rubbing it down? Come on, no, she didn't rub. No, it went up there dirty with all kinds of toothpaste grit,
No,
like all
that
minty
toothbrush
fresh.
was not in prison.
Minty,
That toothbrush
minty fresh.
was
Like
on video camera. With
minty fresh, all up in there. Talk about having some minty breath.
man, I will never look at an electric.
Wow, that's a good question, Lily. Do you think it was her toothbrush or Dee Dee's? How fucked up is that? Yo, I give up. That's bullshit. Oh, I can't. She said, do you think it was her toothbrush or Dee Dee's? Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. I mean, she killed her, guys. She couldn't have thought too kindly of her. The poor woman not only got murdered, but her toothbrush was freaking ridden by Gypsy.
Damn. Oh. Hell.
Oh, I will forever.
You have to look at a toothbrush the same, y'all. Why do y'all have to be like that, damn it?
For the rest of my life, I am going to protect my toothbrush.
Man, listen, I'm locking that thing down. Okay? My kids cannot touch that. Nowhere close. You get out this bathroom.
Yeah, wait, listen. I'm going to get a little lock for my cabinet. It's getting locked up in there. First of all, it's going to be wrapped in saran wrap, and then I'm going to put it in a little toothbrush holder, and it's going to be all locked up. I'm going to guard that shit like...
So, okay, my daughter lied about something.
The juices in your mouth, like you might as well eat yourself. It's like,
So, my daughter lied about something one day, which is not like a regular occurrence, but of course, you know, kids. So I was thinking, this is how crazy I am. I was laying in the bed that night and I said, well, damn. I wonder how it all started with Dee Dee and Gypsy. Did she start like with little white lies? And that's what was interesting to me when you explained the whole psych unit thing. No, because listen, I'm a hypochondriac when it comes to like anything like health wise. Not so much now, but if I put my lipstick on crooked, I think I had a stroke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm a hygiene person.
For real, like, I remember one time I had a hair bump back when I was much younger. Girl, I went to the doctor and told him I had them bumps. And I knew I had it. And I don't know how this happened, but I had it. Tell me why the doctor was like, no, you don't. This is a hair bump. I said, no, I looked it up on Google. That's what it says. He said, no. Girl, when I tell you, like, I am that person that I'll Google it, that seems like it's it. Oh, that's what I have. Like, I don't do it now, but girl. So the fact that I was sitting back thinking that, I'm thinking to myself, like, well, I wonder how it started. Did she start with like one lie and then all of a sudden it just went bad? That's why I was like, when you were explaining it yesterday, I was like, oh, okay. Them type of kids, you know, they're them type of kids from the time they're really young. So I think that that's really interesting too. But I just thought that was interesting to tell you. And I just mixed this just to see something. I just want to see if it will be pretty. Why am I so weird?
Do you think that as we speak, Ken, Rod, and Christy are all hiding their toothbrushes? Maybe that's what that brush was for and why it was hidden under there. Like, don't be acting like you didn't know what that brush was for, Gypsy. What was your brush?
I know Ken hiding it for sure.
That's what. Yeah.
If I was Ken, I would be hiding my brush.
Yeah.
Oh, that's old, girl. I forgot to take it down.
She's using it on Ken.
That,
They said that. Yeah. They. Well, yeah.
well, we do know she has to be letting that man every which way but loose,
So
right?
is his bum minty fresh too?
I mean, the way did you see this part when he did this?
He did this.
Let me see if I can find it. I feel like I took a
So
screenshot.
this and this and this and all of that, and I think I missed. The way he looked at himself in the mirror. Ken is just fabulous.
Oh, this.
Oh, stop. If my husband.
And then this.
My husband would never be like. Ever. Ever. Christy's gonna hide her toothbrush. Absolutely. Beer fingers.
Oh, and what about the slumber party vibes?
Oh, I can't. If my husband ever crawled up on the bed and sat Indian style with me, it would just be too much. Like, that's just wild. Not that he doesn't get in the bed and he doesn't sit there and he doesn't, but my husband would never get in the bed and sit Indian style with me like that. That's just weird. He's very scrumptious. Scrumptious.
Damn, there was one where I thought it was just super funny, but I cannot find it. And I thought I saved it.
I would crack up the Susan cross leg though. That's what I'm saying.
He should have did the baby mama song.
As he was sipping on his mini Coke.
I'm just saying.
He couldn't sleep in a full-size bed with her. Who loved on the toothbrush? I'm behind. Gypsy. And hers went there too.
Man, that toothbrush, I will never have the same.
I will forever, I can't. Like, that's just, yeah. I mean, so you got, not even, I mean, it's bad that you're laying in a bathtub and smushing food all over you. Like, that's wild. But again, like, what'd you do? Take a hamburger? Like, what are you doing with food in a bathtub on a video with a man? Like, cucumbers? Like, what kind of food are we doing here? I got toothbrushes and cucumbers.
Right. And using a toothbrush, like,
yeah. You were ordering, like, dildos from China, wasn't she?
Oh, she was? Well, she was getting them when she had to be ordering something else.
Didn't she say in her book she bought like a 9-inch dildo?
Oh,
it was a 9-inch, right? Was it 9 inches?
Yeah.
She probably used a
Would you be surprised? Come on now.
In her book, right? It was a 9-inch. I knew it was some crazy size. Because I'm like, do y'all really know how big 9 inches is? Like,
man.
You should have just like...
Somebody fall right in and can't even get out. Like the way her thing's set up.
That's crazy. But yeah, she did. She bought one, a 9-inch from China. She said it in her book. So like, maybe the toothbrush battery finally ran out and she felt like she needed to get something to replace it. I don't know. But I'm not going to lie.
Keep in mind, she said she wrote this book for her daughter.
Yeah, as you're sitting there talking about, if my mother, I am grown. And my mother's passed away. But if she was alive.
My mom even says anything about.
If my mother ever said, and if I even heard the word dildo come out of her mouth, I'm a full grown adult with 10 kids.
Like, I'm covering my ears. Right.
Nope.
Like me, baby ears.
Virgin ears, stop now. Like, you can't say that stuff. Like, and you're going to sit there and read about how you traded your kitty for biscuits and gravy, and how you went and bought some guy who murdered your mother a 9-inch dildo off from China?
Say China one more time.
China? How do you say it? How do you say it?
I think your accent makes it so much funnier. She said China. Oh, that's so funny. That's hilarious. I was not expecting that.
Janet is in her book that she
All
got.
places. Why from China? Like, I just really want to
She
understand.
specifically remembered it was from China, like as in the China had anything to do with it. She just remembered it was China and she wrote it down. Maybe she was on a word quota and she needed a couple of extra words, and so she threw in from China.
I don't even understand that. Like, I mean,
I was so wrong. What are you doing? Toothbrush is on page 69 in the book.
Herself with the toothbrush on her book?
No, she bought the 9-incher on page 69. And then here, what was this one, 69? Hold on. Which one is 69?
It had to be Wish at that time. I think it was Wish at that.
Did she had it sent to her, or I think you mean to tell me Dee Dee didn't know dildos were coming in the mail? Like,
I wonder about them wigs.
Think about this for a second. Your mother was so abusive. You were never allowed out. You couldn't have cell phones. You couldn't talk on the phone to your daddy. But the woman didn't check your mail to see if you had dildos coming in. Write your father a letter.
DJ Bree, can you spin that for us?
Like,
that's what we gotta call DJ Bree, because only she could spin that story. Okay.
But she could order and like, let me tell you something. I was not isolated. I was not none of those things, and I could not get.
My mom would have
my house. She would be what? She.
No. I feel like I wasn't really having stuff shipped to the house.
Hell no.
If we didn't go to the store and buy it, I wasn't having it.
No. But I mean, honestly, you mean to tell me she was getting packages in the mail and Dee Dee never questioned it?
And think about it. Anything.
Right? Like, she couldn't even bathe by herself, right? She was taking baths with mama and stuff, like, but she's going to let boxes come in and not check them. She couldn't call daddy because the phone calls couldn't be private. She couldn't call anybody. She could only watch Disney. Like, everything was checked on this crap. But she literally had hours every single day to act a fool online with a man and then get a dildo sent to the house in a box. 9 inches. You know how, like, first of all, we all know Amazon. Okay? There's like a 6-foot box for something this size. Like, let's be real. So can you imagine the size box that came for a 9-inch dildo? Like, the thing must have been massive. And Dee Dee never questioned this big box that came from this thing.
Or the shed. The shed is something I honestly think
the playhouse
shed is
sounds like, oh my god, like if I were making this up, it would be horrible, right? I don't know. I feel like, man, I would be mortified. What? Agreed. I agree. That we think she has. Agreed. What is that? Oh,
Geo Phyllis.
Well, now you're in charge of a whole person, a whole baby, who you already previously had perverted thoughts about. And that's a fact. That's not me being mean. Or at least discussed it once in her life, right? That's a fact. That's not. That's concerning. You can't say that that's not concerning.
It is what it
I'm gonna be a
is.
nurse. I'm a highly educated nurse.
Okay. Whatever, but I mean, would you believe Bree?
That's what I'm saying.
The proof, but
You
I
know,
don't.
I can see you saying that you don't like the way I presented something, maybe. I can see that you don't like the way I said this, or you were going to go and rebut what I had to say. I respect that. But to sit there and say that I forged documents, I lied, I redacted information, I added information, I altered these